All hail Biafran. This is Biafran Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Someone sent me this video yesterday, and it happened yesterday. For those of you who understand Igbo language, I think you will understand everything they are saying in this video. But for some of you who don't understand it, just take a listen. I am going to explain what that means.
Mpamoisa oya gazie mpalekwa no ihe nka ha ji bịa today, ihe nka ha gbara brother da men n'iru nekwa ha gba tata 13th December being Friday. Nye na nke ha gbara ya da men n'iru Chineke ma mụrụkwa ha gba. So ya nwadi ihe ha ji bịa ka ha bịa gbuo anyị n'ụbọchị tata. Ma bi igwe wela na ha feel na maybe egbe na akweghị gbuo anyị na nke a ga-egbu anyị. I'm na ihe ọbụla wụ ihe nzọkpụ na mmụọ ala Biafra na ihe ewevie out. So I want ihe tata ihe ka ha gbara n'ọtụtụ ndị ya gazi Mpamoisa.
Now, this is what the man is saying, that they shot that bomb from the air. Eventually, it did not explode. How many of you remember what happened in Kaduna, where so many people were killed, where they said Nigerian army mistakenly used drone to shoot innocent people? Now, let me tell you what is going on. If these people have succeeded in shooting, maybe throwing a bomb that exploded from their flight, either fighter jet or helicopter, what they are going to record is that the army has successfully carried out a strike against Biafra agitators, against IPOB terrorists, against ESN and so on and so forth. I don't know the kind of name they use. You know why I'm saying this? A lot of people still believe the reports that comes from India. Look at, not as if, if you watch the head of that bomb now, if you watch the head of that bomb, just that place that is divided like star, you will see that there is something like fire there. That is a proof that it was shot. Yeah, that is a proof that it was shot. If a bomb have not been shot, that place will not look like where they put inside fire. So the bomb refused to explode. Just imagine, people over there would just die for nothing. What is their crime? They were born and brought up from the geographical area called Nigeria. So the reason why I'm saying this is for you people to understand that time without number, if they make mistake to kill people in the southeast, they tag them terrorists. People who are innocent. And no penalty, no compensation. Nobody will tell them you are guilty. And you call this a country? No. Now, this planned genocide that is going on in Nigeria, it's not as if it started today, especially the Igbo land. It's not because it started today. This thing have started a very long time ago. Now, there was a time during Nnamdi Kanu period when he was agitating, when he have not been detained. Do you remember these military officers who came and they were shooting sporadically, they were burning down houses? I do not blame them at all. I blame your leaders. I blame your politicians. And that is why I do tell people that are agitating, don't fold your hands. I understand civil disobedience is part of agitation. You can say you don't want to go and vote, but they are going to impose somebody who will be there, who will come and tell them that no, everything is alright, even though you people kill people, it's alright. Don't allow them to impose people on you. Don't allow them to do that. So even though they do it through Supreme Court, don't let the affliction to rise again. You get why? Look at how the military was, shooting sporadically that period.
Nigeria has an Igbo problem. There is a secret memo in government that whenever we want to take charge in this country, be careful of the Igbo. Don't give them position. Don't give them opportunity. Otherwise, they will over. For an Igbo man to survive in Nigeria, as it is currently put together, Nigeria must break.
Wait, the meeting you had with Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
You are telling us now that Nnamdi Kanu...
Don't you know what happened, the called pogrom in this country, where people were slaughtered and their bodies and their heads placed inside the train going down south? Even our parents.
Wow.
Tell us, Igbo, in 2024, detaining Nnamdi Kanu against all the court orders, against all the court rulings. There's a global interest to keep Nigeria the way it is.
So
global interest.
Oil can keep flowing in direction of multinationals. There are people whose interest is to make sure Nigeria doesn't progress so that the black man will not find his feet globally. So anybody who is also fighting them here, you are fighting that global economic interest. And that is what was clear to us during Ken Saro-Wiwa's death. The world could have saved Ken Saro-Wiwa. Even Mandela refused to make the call to Abacha. Or he said he called Abacha, Abacha didn't pick. All of them could have made that call and said, look, if you touch this guy, we are going to give you hell. But because, Ken Saro-Wiwa went and pressed the red button, which is oil. Do you know why Ogoni land has over 62 billion cubic feet of gas?
62 billion.
This is not even oil,
gas.
Because what most people don't understand is that oil is going out of business, but gas is going to be around for a long time.
Yes.
So that is what they're interested in protecting. And the guy who starts saying, we own the thing, I would say, what's your problem now, guy, man? And they finished him. Global conspiracy. It's the same thing they did to Kanu now. How do you think that Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya and brought to Nigeria, and there's no manifest of the plane that brought him to today? Even judges cannot ask for it. How did he get to Nigeria from Kenya? Who was the person who abducted him from the underground garage? If you go and ask Tinubu now that he promised you something, he can completely deny that he never promised, because he never went to any debate. He did not do any interviews. Not even with his own TV station did he interview with during the election.
Do you have any sort of relationship with him, the president?
No. If you have relationship with them, they don't even have to tell people. One of their assistants will put it out. Say, which kind she will be that? Common text message where Idris Abdul Karim sent to Koyamo. Release them. Just WhatsApp messages where people they take play. Yeah, they go release them now. Say, which kind she will be that we don't see them for our area before now.
Person we just can't collect
money. So I've only met Tinubu twice in my life. First in 1999, and then the second time was during the Presidential Peace Committee that we had in 2023, where he sat next to me.
Oh,
and then he was.
I saw the video.
He was struggling to have my program with him, and I said to him, because when he came in, he said, President Shiwore. I was like,
he called you a president.
Yes, now no, they don't have problem with that. Is what the Yoruba say. They just look at you like these crazy people. Let's call them whatever they want them to, to call them. And then he stretched his hand, not his right hand, but his left hand to shake hand with me. So I quickly, just because. If it was photographed, they can say that maybe we are in some kind of secret call together. And it might even make this assertion to be more, legit. Don't you see that they shook hands?
They get
some kind of way.
Yeah, they will say they'll be Ogboni.
The Igbo man learned that the government has nothing for him. So he learned to survive on his own. You will rarely ever find an Igbo man applying to the civil service or looking for salary job. So the average one, even the ones I went to university with, they will go and attach themselves to somebody in the market. They will learn a trade. So they learned to do without government. They learned to discount the government completely, which means that the Igbo man is better equipped than any other Nigerian to cope with our current circumstances, where the government has become completely useless. The Igbo man was already prepared for the uselessness of the government. So now that he is prepared for it, and everybody else have now decided to stigmatize the Igbo man, I can't blame the Igbo man for turning around and saying, it's none of my business, enjoy your government. He didn't enjoy anything from the government before. So for somebody, and I'm talking about the average Igbo man who is like me and you. I'm not talking about the Ojihus or Kalus of this world or the Okorochas of this world who have always fed on the grievances of Ndi Igbo and made money by appeasement of government and then presuming to speak on behalf of, I'm not speaking to those ones. I'm speaking for the average man on the street who grew up believing that he has no portion in Nigeria, which was what fed the Biafran spirit and the demand for Biafra even 50 years after the Civil War. So I'm not speaking to the man on the street of Alaigbo. I'm not speaking to the trader in Alaba or at Aspanda or at Ladipo. All those ones, they have always lived with the mentality of being victims of the system. So when a victim of the system is telling you, leave me out of your protest, go and deal, because he wasn't gaining anything from the system in the first place. So if he wasn't gaining anything from the system in the first place, he has nothing to lose if the situation becomes, the only thing that is happening now is that more victims are being recruited into the Nigerian mess. So why should he, who was always a victim, further victimize himself by joining those he believes are responsible for his victimhood? If you like, steal all the money in the world, you still take that money to a market to go and buy something. And who will you find in the market when you get there? You find the Igbo man there. Whether it's food you are buying, whether it's building material, whether it's car, you find the Igbo man is there in the market waiting for you. So he's already in a position of advantage. So why would he disadvantage himself unless you people show him a readiness for change?